Guy Code with Rena Osware.
Welcome to another episode of the Guy Code. I am Rene Osware. Now, on this episode, we're going to be talking about a very sensitive issue. It's one of the issues that I should have done an episode on it already, but here we are. It's about relationships and money, right? How money, your money. Should you step up, pay for everything, or should you split costs? How do you go about this? And money is a very, very touchy subject in relationships. The truth is, it really is one of the big factors that cause a lot of breakups, of course coming together with maybe family and infidelity and all that, but money issues are really a big issues in relationships. So my guys want to understand, how do you handle women and money? How do you handle your relationships and money? Should you have joint bank accounts? Should you have split bank accounts, separate accounts? What project should you engage in together? And on this episode, I just want to clarify all this stuff. They're very important issues, because if you don't have your money issues in check, you can have everything else down, but the money and the finances, it's really important. It could affect everything else, right? It could affect your intimacy and your closeness in that relationship. So guys, let's just get into it. What I would say is that communication is very important, guys. You have to know the kind of lady you're dealing with, and so there are 4 points I would give you to consider and evaluate. And you need to communicate early in the beginning, right? You need to communicate early in the beginning to know where she stands as far as money issues, as far as resources, right? It's very, very, very important, because you don't want to end up probably even living together with the lady and checks coming and bills coming, and you haven't agreed on a system on how to deal with these things, and you end up dealing with a woman who you never knew her habits as far as finances and how she views them as far as resource allocation and managing them, right? So guys, communicate early from the beginning. Okay, in a earlier episode I actually said that you can just test on the third date. Ask her, okay, could you pay for this date, just to see her reaction as far as what she views gender roles and money is concerned, right? You get to know this early, right? So here are a couple of points I want to share with you guys on knowing the kind of woman you're dealing with from the jump, and her attitude towards money and resources, right? So the number one is try and get to know how money was handled when she was growing up. Because the truth is, guys, right, how we grow up really influences the decisions we make as adults. How we saw money handled in our household really affects how we deal with money in adult life, right? So if you get to know how money was handled in that household, was the man the primary breadwinner and the lady was probably a housewife? Were they both career people, right? Were bills handled separately? Was there chipping in once in a while? Were there projects done together? Or did the wife had her own projects and the man has her own projects? So if she saw this growing up, she will definitely want to use some of these tactics in her adult life, especially if she saw they were successful. Even when they were not successful, she could actually carry forward some bad habits as far as money and resource allocation. So you really need to know how she saw money allocated in her household. How was money handled growing up in her home? Number two, you need to know what should be yours, hers, and what should belong to both of you, right? So maybe as far as you want to buy some property, a house, should you put it in your name, her name, both your names, or even the children's name, right? So what should be whose, right? What should be written in whose name and for what purposes, right? So you need to get this information early so that you don't reach a point where maybe, and it is possible that she might file a divorce and she wants the house because she wants it written in her name and not yours. So you really need to know what she would want as far as asset allocation, what should be hers, what should be yours, and what should belong to both of you, to both dual proprietorship or something like that. You need to know that from the get-go, how she wants these assets allocated and who should own what, right? Are there things that are just purely exclusive to one? Are there things that should be shared, right? Should you have joint bank accounts? Should you have separate bank accounts? Should you pull our bank accounts together? You need to know that, right? That is number 2. Number 3, guys, you need to know her financial goals in order of priority. Know her financial goals in order of priority. What does she prioritize first? Does she want to know? Does she want to get a car first? Does she want to get a house first? Does she want to get maybe, I don't know, some investments first, start a business first? You need to know what are these goals she has as far as financial goals and the order of priority, so that when you're coming together and building a home and getting into this commitment relationship, you need to know what she would want to work on first. You're married. What does she want to work on first? Does she want to get a house first with a compound for the kids? Does she want to get a car first, to drive the kids around, to drive her around? Does she want to come together and start a business as a family, have a family-owned business and pass it down to, your children? Get to know all her financial goals and in order of priority, so that you know what she will want to work on first and where her resources are most likely to go to first as the main ones, right? So know that, right? The lastly is the lifestyle that she wants her children to have and the amount she's willing to invest in her children, right? If she's a single mom, you can actually know this from how she's dealing with her kids now, but it's a slight sign. Where just get to know what kind of lifestyle does she wants for her children. Does she want private school? Does she want even them to live abroad? Does she want them to be homeschooled? What kind of lifestyle does she want for her children? So that you know when she gets certain kind of money, what kind of aspirations that she will be building on, right? Will she be saving up for private school for a child? Will she be more into getting some reading equipment, reading material, so that she can homeschool her own children? You need to get to know all this stuff so that you know our collective financial aspirations and all these goals, so that you know a clear picture of the kind of woman you're dealing with and have attitudes towards money and how she will allocate her money once she gets a windfall or even her day-to-day wages, right? So once you know all this stuff, you easily get to know what her goals are, how she's willing to allocate resources for those goals in order of priority, right? And how she expects both of you to work together to achieve these goals. So these are a couple of things I wanted to share with you guys. In summary, I would say number one is know how money was handled when growing up, right? Second is know what should be yours, hers, and belong to the both of you. Number three is know her financial goals in order of priority. And fourth is know the lifestyle she wants for her children. These are things that will definitely give you a clear picture of the kind of lady you're dealing with and what to expect if you get into a long-term commitment with her. That has been today's episode, guys, of the Guy Code. I enjoy your feedback on social media, Twitter at Guy Code Kenya as usual. And until next time, guys, we will talk soon.